Hello, my name is Michael Blair. I'm a staff physical therapist here at Tanana Chiefs Conference, and today's Medical Minute is going to be on sleep hygiene, or how to improve your sleep. Sleep hygiene is defined as all those habits, both big and small, that affect our quality of sleep. Well, actually, sleep matters because our bodies need rest to improve all the bodily functions that we have. But we also need sleep for our mental health. It helps our ability to process. It helps our reaction time. It helps our ability to concentrate. And the biggest thing they found recently is that if you're not sleeping as well, it actually increases your pain. And then that becomes a vicious circle, because if you're not sleeping, it increases your pain. And if it increases your pain, then it makes your sleep worse. The first thing we have people do is find out, what are your habits? When are you going to bed? When are you waking up? You know, how many times are you waking up at night? Or are you sleeping completely through the night? And then going into the habits of what you're doing before and after you sleep. So some of the habits are, like, we tell people to have a designated sleeping spot, to not do things in bed, like try not to watch television when you're in bed, try not to do anything with screen time, computer, anything for 2 or 3 hours before you go to bed. Going to bed at the same time every night is a great way just to get your body trained that, okay, it's time to sleep. And then also getting up, so when you wake up in the morning, get out of bed. Try not to hit the snooze alarm, so that, again, your body gets trained that now it's time to wake up. Some other habits to look for are, what are you eating before you go to bed? You don't want to go to bed on a completely empty stomach where all you can think about is how hungry you are, but you also don't want to go to bed feeling bloated so you're uncomfortable. Also, some foods affect people differently. If you're eating spicy foods or things like that that kind of upset your stomach, that's probably not going to be good for sleep. Drinking alcohol, caffeine, those things are not good to do before you go to bed. They usually recommend you keep 6 hours before you go to bed. Another thing to do is to not look at the clock. Just, try to relax. Don't think about not being able to sleep. A good thing to do is to learn breathing habits on how to do relaxed breathing or controlled breathing. Something else that's been shown to improve sleep is to exercise, and exercise regularly. Now, you don't want to exercise right before you go to bed, because you want your heart at its resting heart rate when you try to rest. If you're going to bed and your heart's already sprinting, then you're going to have a harder time falling asleep. We tell people not to check their phone. Try to leave your phone. Any light in your room is not good. It's best to sleep in a dark, cool, and comfortable. You don't want it freezing cold where you're not comfortable. But even it's shown that the glow of computer screens or even off of televisions can affect sleep. So obviously here in the summer you want to have blackout curtains. You want to turn off every light you can inside your bedroom. And we tell people, check the phone before you go to bed. Put it on silent or airplane mode if you're using it for your alarm. Also, don't leave tasks. So if you wake up at night and you find yourself thinking about the dishes you didn't wash or what you have to do, make that part of your routine. Either just plan, say, I always wash the dishes before I go to bed, or I wash them first thing I get in the morning. That way you're not worried about what you have to do next. You just know that's what happens. The science now says we should listen to our bodies. When you're hungry, you should eat. Well, when you're tired, you should rest. And if that means nap, you should nap. That said, you don't want to nap within like 6 hours of when you go to bed at night. So if you're tired in the morning or early afternoon and you have time, take a nap. You want to limit it to 20 to 30 minutes. And then try not to nap anytime, like after supper, before you go to bed, because you don't want to feel rested when you go to bed. Congratulations. If you can sleep just fine, then just keep doing what you're doing. But if you're not sleeping fine, try to change some of those things. Talk to your provider about it, or if you're having physical therapy, we can talk to you about it as well. There are a few other things, including insomnia and sleep apnea, that can be medically important for your doctor to know, and that do need to be addressed by the medical establishment. It's been recommended lately that most people should get 6 to 7 hours of sleep at least. Everybody is different, so some people can function on less sleep and some people will need a little more sleep. I know the last I heard was that teenagers usually need a little more sleep, but their bodies are growing, they are more active during the day, thus they need a longer rest period. I would say that you want to try to get their sleep habits in line with yours if you can. You know, when you put them down to bed, then the same thing, have them do that certain response so they're on a schedule as well, as much as they can be on a schedule. Thank you for watching today's Medical Minute. We look forward to seeing you next time.